Welcome to The Truth, where we dig deep behind the headlines for the real deal. Joining me to discuss this week's top stories are New York Times business editor Marcus Mabry, BT analyst Kelly Goff, and humorist Donnell Rawlins. You all, this week there was an insane meltdown on Wall Street. People are going crazy all over the country, not knowing whether or not their banks are going to be open tomorrow. But the first question I'm asking, is this real or is it Memorex? I mean, is this the media making more of a very real issue, or is this really the crisis that the media says it is?
Thousands of men, women, and children have died in a conflict that has no simple solutions and no easy explanations. The story of the Darfurian crisis is, at best, about masses of innocent civilians caught in the crossfire of a civil war, and at worst, about an Arab-led government senselessly exterminating hundreds of thousands of its own African citizens. So when that government, which for years has banned journalists from the country, opened its doors and invited BET News to Sudan, we went, hoping to find at least some explanations. What we found was a leadership that dismissed the accusations of the world as over-exaggeration and blatant lies. The government says it's a victim of the West anti-Arab agenda.
So ultimately, you're asserting that the U.S. government and outside forces are pushing whatever buttons they can in Sudan.
We have full information of the USA's urge for promotion of the conflict in Darfur.
Good evening, I'm Jeff Johnson, reporting live from the DNC. The Democratic torch has definitely been passed. Just hours ago, Senator Hillary Clinton released her delegates suspending the controversial roll call vote. This was a gracious move and set the expectations high for her husband, former President Bill Clinton, who had the tougher time reconciling his disappointment from the campaign. But the two-term president also had his moment to shine, stealing the show earlier this evening. In just a few minutes, vice presidential candidate Senator Joe Biden of Delaware will speak. Biden brings more than 30 years of political experience and a respected foreign policy background to the table.
But what does an Obama White House mean for your house? I sat down in the studio with Senator Obama for the answers Black America has been waiting for.
I want to get right into this. I mean, you have been forced in many cases to answer the question over and over again, are you black enough? And I'm not going to ask you that. What I want to know, one is, does that question frustrate you? Right. One. And two, how do you reconcile between having to be someone who is African American, but really understanding that as someone running for president, you represent the entire country?
How can we be revolutionary in even gaining market share or increasing the brand association or the positive association with a brand if we're not willing to understand that the communities that we're marketing to are no more monolithic than ours are?